Live from Los Angeles, here's Every Way Woman.
And I'm here with Sehnita Joshua, Madison's special guest co-host on Every Way Woman. Sehnita, tell me a little bit about what you like about coming on the show.
Well, there are so many different women here with different perspectives and different backgrounds. I mean, you know, you see Natasha, you know, you would never guess that she's in the Navy or, you know, in the Army. And everyone has so many different backgrounds, and that's what I love. I love people just being able to bring their perspectives and talk about the issues that mean a lot to us.
And telling, like, their life stories and things like that.
Absolutely.
Tell me about you. Tell me a little bit about you as a mom, as a professional. You know, a lot of our shows we talk about everyday kind of women and how they get by in life and how everything that they're doing. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. You know, I have a little 15-month-old, and he's just amazing. I mean, my whole life has changed because of him. You know, I think sometimes people think about marriage and think that's going to change your life so much, but no, it's kids that changes everything and your priorities. And you know, it's tough. It's tough trying to manage. You know, trying to figure out your career, having that as a priority, and you know, obviously with the economy now, and you know, people are so stretched so thin, and you do start wondering, how do I have this balance with, you know, making sure that I have a career that means something to me, but also at the end of the day, you know, I don't want someone else raising my kid. I want to raise my kid. I want that fun. And so it is a huge balance, but you know, it's worth it in the end.
What are some of the things you look into when you're thinking about raising your son? What are some of, like, with schools to take him to and kind of priorities?
Well, I think the main thing with anything, whether you know you're young college students coming out, it's networking and building a good group of people around you. And so the same thing, you know, a lot of times people have kids and they realize, okay, I need to go to all these mommy and me classes. And I remember asking a friend of mine, you know, she'd had a kid, you know, 5 years ago, and I knew nothing about kids at that time, and you know, she was going to a music class, and I was like, well, why can't you just play music for your kid at home? You know, like, why do you need to sign up for a class? And she and you know, at that time, when she was telling me about signing up her kid for a music class, you know, he was like 15 months, same age as my kid, my boy, and you know, she was just like, well, that's just what you do. And I didn't quite get it.
Yeah. Who do you get your advice from? Like, who kind of, we're not naturally, I mean, I guess it is, you know,
Absolutely.
We do have the motherly instinct, I think all women do, but who do you go to? Where do you get your advice from?
Absolutely. That's the whole reason you sign up for those classes.
Yeah.
Not only just to have your kids exposed to new things and activities and meeting other kids, but so that you can have a strong network of parents who are doing all different types. You know, there's working moms, there are working dads, there's stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
That you need that network.
Because I bet you have advice coming from everywhere. You have people telling you, do this, do that, and then...
Yeah, you know, and that used to never bother me before, and I will say that, you know, the advice that comes when you have kids, I mean, you will get it just so randomly from everywhere. You know, I went to, you know, get alterations, and the seamstress is telling me about, you know, how to feed my kid, and it's just, it really does come from everywhere. So I think you have to be very strong in knowing what you want for yourself, and that goes with anything from your career. You know, like, you really have to know what you want first, so that you can take, you are smart enough to get the advice that really does mean something and can help you, and be able to filter out the rest.
That's great advice for moms. Tell me a little bit about some topics that have stood out to you that you've been on panels on or watched on Every Way Woman.
Well, I think, you know, there are so many topics out there, anywhere from, you know, death penalty, abortion, you know, all these major topics. And the reason I like them, you know, there are things that I don't necessarily have to deal with my everyday life.
All right, last question, Sehnita. Tell me a little bit about some topics that have stood out to you on the show, or some topics that you've enjoyed speaking on.
You know, I love being able to go from everything from, you know, Beyonce's baby bump to the death penalty. I mean, and that's what's great about this show, is that, you know, we as women have so many things going on in our lives that, you know, sometimes it's fun to just talk about fluff things, you know, makeup, all of that, but then it's also important to, you know, sit back and think about the big issues that are going on in our lives and things that affect our families. And I love that we are so diverse and so strong in so many different ways that we can talk about all of those things.
All right, thank you so much, Sehnita. Thank you for watching.